yes.
All right, Carolina Paz Botero. And so Carolina first came to my attention, as I mentioned earlier, when uh, when she put out this post on LinkedIn about why, it was, I think it was like was it the top 5 reasons that,
Five reasons, 5 reasons why I think LLMs should be an easy decision for hiring managers or companies or firms or
and I
yeah.
thought that was great. And it got like so much love and attention. Lots of people liked it. So anyhow, Carolina, so she is from Colombia. She has 4 years experience as in-house counsel in Colombia. And then she did her LLM at Suffolk Law School in Boston. And she is sitting for the Massachusetts bar this summer. Wow, good luck, girl. I took the bar in February.
Oh
It,
God.
it was formidable, I will say.
I bet.
Okay, so I guess so. Um, I guess what I want to know from you. Okay, so you came from Columbia, and you did an LLB in Columbia.
Yes.
Okay, so how did you pick Suffolk, and how did you pick the how did you decide? Okay, Massachusetts is the place you want to take the bar, and how are you finding the job market?
Okay. So Suffolk was kind of the last thing that came came my way, because I applied to a bunch of different places before I landed the spot at Suffolk. I applied to Spain, to London, right, to a lot of places, and I ended up getting the services of an agency, and they showed me like a list of universities that they worked with, and so I looked online the courses that they offered in their LLM programs, and I decided to apply to Suffolk and to other 2 universities. And I got a scholarship from Suffolk, and that's why I ended up here. Yes. And I decided to take the Massachusetts bar because when I was started studying, I had a few conversations with the dean, and she kind of advised me that if I was studying here, I would be networking here. Therefore, it would be probably more likely that I would find a job here. So I ended up choosing to sit for the bar in Massachusetts. But to answer the last question, I do think that Massachusetts market is a bit narrow for international students. It's not too open, or at least right now, the market is kind of slow. I don't know.
Yeah, so I think one issue that I'm having trouble figuring out is the market slow or is it me? Or
Yeah,
is it that I have an LLM?
I
Um,
mean, I guess both, to be honest. I would say both because I have the opportunity to speak to many attorneys from different places in the networkings that I've been attending, and they do say that the market's low now. So I mean, it affirmed this. I mean, it took away kind of a lot of weight that I had over my shoulders because I thought like, oh my God, is it just me, the one that I mean has the trouble finding a job, or is it the market, or is that a combination of things? But yeah, I guess it's a combination of things.
so one issue we have with LLMs who come from foreign countries is that like how to do the practical training. So, you know, I'm a dual citizen, so I haven't had to worry about this. But I know so many of my other, colleagues in class, they they are here on a visa, and it's really regulated when you can work and how long you can work. How did, like, have you done any, like, how did you, like, have you done any work, or how have you dealt with the visa issue?
Yeah, I guess that's been the major issue in my case. And I guess in the case of the people who come with an F1 visa. Um, During the summer, I did the curricular practical training. So I took an internship with a nonprofit firm, and I was working for them for 3 months, and that was it. And now I am working part-time for a small firm that hired me since late January, and this is my OPT, the optional practical training year that starts after you graduate from your program. So the complications that it has is um, you only have 1 year to land a job and to work, and you can only find a job within the legal market. You cannot work at McDonald's, for example, right? So you have to be really certain of what you want to do and start looking ahead of time, because once the OPT day starts, you get 1 year to work and you only have 90 days to land a job. Otherwise, you have to leave the country. Right.
That is, that seems very strict.
It is.
Because
Yeah.
I worked in immigration in the UK, and the UK has their laws are a little bit more, not massively liberal, but you get a little bit more time than 90 days to sort out stuff. So it seems like, if you have a visa with all of this, you have to be really on the ball in terms of scheduling. Like, you can't let things lapse.
No.
And so I think I understand more some frustrations that some of the LLMs in our program have had when they're not getting responses back quickly from faculty, because it's like, hey, this is my visa that we're talking about. Like, I need to get this done so I can get this, and this, so I can have all my ducks in a row. So I tend not to be someone who is as sounds like you're very organized. I'm not as organized as you, but it does sound like if you're coming to this with a visa and you're planning on taking the bar and you're planning on staying and living in the US and working in the US, you need to have all your ducks in a row, along with getting all the grades. And I think it's doable, but it's very tough. And I will also say that the bar exam, the bar application, as someone who has moved, like, I think in the past 10 years, I moved 16 times. And I did a series of, because I was a consultant, so I was going overseas from place to place to place. So Germany, Amsterdam, Germany, Netherlands, Switzerland, etc. Um, it will take a while to get through the bar application. Um, you know, and what one thing that I did, and one tip that I have, if is that all the immigration documents that you have for the US, because my husband is a foreigner, he's from Scotland. We saved all of our US immigration stuff. So we had a really comprehensive list of everywhere that we'd lived. And so I delved into that to copy that, and use it for my bar application. But what I'm saying is that you are to be commended for being able to balance it all. And um, because I don't think everyone is cut out for that. I think I think I could do it, but I would struggle. You seem to be doing it with grace.
Well, not really. I mean, I do try to keep positive and try to like be organized and try to keep track of what I have to do. Otherwise, it would be impossible to get things done, because I mean, when I was studying, I graduated this January. When I was studying, I was also applying to jobs, and then also attending networking events, and then I started applying to jobs, and all at the same time. Plus applying to the OPT, because you have to apply to get the work permit. So yeah, there's a certain like amount of issues and things that you have to go through to get things done.
So, what advice would you give LLMs who are, so imagine yourself like right before you came to the US to start the program. What advice would you give that person who's just coming to the US, just starting their LLM program?
So I guess the first thing I would say is um, having in mind what your goal is with the LLM. Because if you want to go back to your home country after the LLM, then you have half of the issues taken away, right? But if you want to take the bar, and if you want to work at least the year that you get after you graduate, then you have to start thinking ahead of time all these different factors. So for example, when I first arrived here, I wasn't aware of how big networking is here. So I would just spend my weekends applying online through LinkedIn, Indeed, and all these job portals. But then I started noticing that even though I got a few interviews, they weren't like being successful, and I had to find out the hard way that I needed to do a lot of networking. So I started attending all these events the university puts together, and I started like trying to get my LinkedIn profile more updated and be more active in there, so that recruiters could come after me. And I started like asking the university what the procedure was to get the work permit done after my program. And I started ahead of time trying to pursue this job, because I knew I had only 90 days. And since the market was so shut down, for example, you have to start with good time in advance. So yeah.
Okay. Carolina, thank you so much. Thank you for that LinkedIn post, because without that LinkedIn post, I might not have been inspired to put this together today. So it was such a refreshing read. And well, I'll try and whilst one of the other speakers is speaking, I'll try and get that link and put it up so everyone can have a look at
Great.
have a look at it.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. And I mean, it was the way I found to kind of tell myself out loud why I was worth it as an LLM, because you get so many no's that you start doubting yourself. And so I think it was important for me to put out there this thing, like to, I mean, put the word out there that we are valuable workers.
Thank you. Yeah, the no's are real. Like the amount of no's that I mean, the thing is, I've heard a few yeses. So in some respects, it's a little bit of a numbers game. But I've heard so many no's. And then today I got a call back for a second interview at a law firm, and I was just like, oh, someone actually likes me. All right. So thank you, Carolina, sorry.